rock and roll.
Yes, guys, welcome back. Hope everyone's doing well. Thank you for joining me this evening. I do appreciate it, guys. I know there's a lot of other guys live at the moment, like Grizz and Coppish and all that, but thank you very much for joining me right now, guys. I do appreciate it. Don't forget to go and smash that like button and subscribe if you're new as well. All that good stuff, guys. How is everyone? How are you all doing this evening? Let me know in the chat. I hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all doing well, guys. So Liverpool obviously had a friendly today, another pre-season game. Yeah, man, interesting. We're gonna talk about this pre-season game. We're gonna talk about pre-season so far, how the German tour has gone. So that's our last game this pre-season in Germany. We're off to Singapore now, off flying over to Asia. I think we've got Bayern Munich and Leicester over there. So teams going to get a little bit better. Training's going to pick up a little bit. It's going to be interesting. Big up to Oliver in the chat. You're good. Darryl in the chat. You're good, man. Captain Sour Trap, John Conway, Drunk Vigo, Daz. Hope you're all doing well. Big up to everyone here. I'm all good, man. I'm all good. Thank you very much for asking. I'm good. Don't look at Jamie at all. A massive way. Big up, Daryl. Yeah, Oliver, I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you, Oliver? Are you doing all right, man? Are you doing all right? Hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing good. Yeah, and we've got to go to Singapore quite soon. Flying over, 2 games over there, and then I think we got 1 game. We usually have 1 game at Anfield before the start of the season, don't we? We usually do 1 game at Anfield, but because Anfield's not available at the moment, I think it's at Deepdale in Preston against Dramstadt. So that's an interesting one on the 7th of August, I do believe, something like that. So yeah, so interesting time coming up. How do we rate this German tour of the pre-season, guys? Let me know in the chat how we're rating this tour in Germany. I think we scored 8 goals and conceded 6. 8 goals and conceded 6 in this German tour. So obviously there is a few things to talk about, but it is only a friendly. How do we talk about friendlies, guys? Let me know in the chat. How do we go about looking at friendlies, looking at pre-seasons? A lot of people say we shouldn't take pre-seasons too seriously. It's just pre-season. It's about them getting their fitness and their training. Other people say no, pre-season should be competitive still because you want to make sure you're ready for the new season. Results don't matter. People say results do matter. How does everyone feel? What do you guys feel in a chat about pre-season? How does it feel to you? Is it just training? Is it just intense training and a few friendly matches here and there, or is there a little bit more to it than meets the eye? What are we saying, guys? Be honest in chat as well. Yeah, it's big up hands up. It's yeah. Give us your overall rating of the tour of Germany, guys. Give us your overall rating of the tour of Germany. What players stuck out for you in the tour of Germany? Well, what players are you a little bit worried about? Everyone you've seen so far? Obviously, we've not seen Thiago. We only seen a few minutes. Curtis and Harvey. Zobazai only played 1 game. McAllister's played both games. So yeah, give me your overall rating of the tour in Germany, and let us know what players you was impressed with, what players you still feel a bit worried about, and anything else in the chat. Let me know. We'll talk about it tonight. It's a nice chilled out Liverpool chat this evening, guys. Let me know in the chat, guys. There's things like when I do pre-season. So every time I did pre-season last year, I did all the games last year for pre-season, and I always got told that it's only pre-season. Don't look too much into it because we were terrible last pre-season. If you go back to pre-season last summer, we were terrible. We had an awful pre-season, and everyone said don't read into it. When the league starts, we'll be back flying. It's nothing. It's just training. It's just fitness. And what I was watching, I was a little bit worried about last summer. And I was like, I don't know, it's a little bit worrying. It's a little bit worrying. Why are we playing all the kids and not the first team players and blah de blah? And then the season started and we didn't look ready. We didn't look ready last year. I thought we went into the first game against Fulham and Crystal Palace last year not looking fit. Yeah, big up, Oliver. I am not saying that. Big up, Oliver Lowe. Big up across the pond. Big up to you, man. We didn't look fit going into last season, and that was my problem. Liverpool did not look fit going into last season. As soon as we started playing, Fulham and Palace, we didn't look up for it. We didn't look sharp. We looked drained. We looked mentally fatigued. So I was a bit worried about this pre-season coming as well because I don't want to see the same again. But what I will say is that Klopp might have learned a few of his lessons. He's playing stronger. He's playing stronger sides. We're seeing quite strong sides start friendly games. The first game of this summer we started Virgil, Kanate and Trent and Robbo and Kelleher and Salah and Darwin and Jota and Gakpo and McAllister and Bozolai. Starting strong lineups. To previous times because I think Jurgen Klopp knows himself that Liverpool need to get off to a massive start. They need a big start against Chelsea. Liverpool need to get off to a flyer. Liverpool can't afford to be. Liverpool can't afford to be slow at the blocks against Palace, guys. They really can't. So I need to know where everyone feels about pre-season. What does everyone feel about it? Let me know. Big up honesty. For me, it's just fitness and sharpness to see what the manager will do tactic-wise. Because I've seen clubs win all their pre-season games now for shite season, vice versa. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think the year we won the Premier League, we didn't win a single pre-season game, if I remember rightly. I don't think we won a single pre-season game. Big up my man. Hendo, Fabinho, Thiago staying again. No, I think Thiago's staying. Thiago's staying, my man. What else we got here? Macro had a good game today. Yeah, Nunez has been good this German tour so far. Nunez was so sharp though for some more to it. Darwin wise last season, he brought us both chances. Yeah, Darwin's second goal today was really good. 5 out of 10, it matters to me. Big up Captain Sal. Kwanzaa looks good, says Hamza. Big up recency in the house. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. We desperately need more signings. Yeah, I do. I hate our second kit. Yeah, Arsenal second kit. Is it that green and thingy? Yeah, it's weird, man. And it's not like Arsenal. They usually make diamond kits. Big up Sir Oswald in the chat. Hope you're doing well. Mac is a great sign, to be fair. That what else coming in for mid? Manu, Kone, Turam, Casado. I'm not sure, man. I am literally not sure. I'm literally not sure what Liverpool got up there, Steve. I think they're looking at Lavia. I think Lavia is the strongest link so far. Yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah, Lavia for me is probably the one. Why is Twitter now called X? That's what I want to know. That's off subject right now. Why is Twitter called X? It's stupid. It really is. Yeah, it's a pre-season. It's just look, we're getting to the game. So Liverpool put out quite a strong lineup yet again in the first half. Bradley, Kanate, Van Dijk, Robertson playing in the back four. Alisson Becker in goal. McAllister, Trent playing the number 6. Gakpo playing in midfield as well. Diaz, Jota, and Doak. How did everyone feel the first half team? Because Conor Bradley, we've got to talk about Conor Bradley for a minute, guys. He's played right back now for both games, yeah? Trent's played DM for both games. We got Anfield, Lad 10. Big up to you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Big up Noel in the chat as well. What do you think of Conor Bradley, guys? He's played both games at right back. He's playing the inverted role that Trent played all at the end of last season. That looks like that's here to stay. We are 3 weeks away from the opening game of the season. We've not yet got a defensive midfielder through the door. Fabinho's not officially left yet, but that should be done tomorrow sometime, apparently. If we don't get a DM in before we play, look, we got Bayern Munich on the 2nd of August. So that's a week on Wednesday, I believe, yeah? We ain't going to get a DM in that time, I wouldn't have thought. So is Bradley going to play right back for the opening game against Chelsea in the Premier League, guys? What are we saying? Is Bradley going to play right back in the opening game of the season against Chelsea? Because we ain't got no DMs in the club, guys. We ain't got a natural DM in the club with Fabinho. We've got Stefan Bajcetic there, but he hasn't played pre-season yet. So I don't know how fit he's going to be ready for the opening game of the season. Trent's playing every game there so far. It'd be interesting. The Bayern Munich game would be interesting to me because if Trent's playing the number 6 against Bayern Munich and Bradley's still playing at right back, I think we're looking at a thing where Bradley's going to play right back against Chelsea on the opening day of the season, and Trent's going to play in the number 6 position because, you know, we're taking a long time to get anyone through the door in this DM position. And that's a worry for me. Look, Trent can play midfield for me, but I think he can't play as the sole number 6. That's what I would say. I don't think Trent can play as the sole number 6. He needs for me, he needs someone alongside him and he a cook. You know, you put a proper defensive midfielder alongside Trent there, Trent's going to be absolutely fantastic. He'll cook all day. He'll look tremendous. You play Trent there in just a number 6 position on his own, I think Trent's going to come unstuck and it's not his fault. So we haven't really got a natural number 6 there. So unless Stefan gets up and in ready and plays against Bayern Munich and plays against Leicester and has some minutes, if he's not going to be ready for the opening game of the season, then it looks like we're going to have to play Trent in the number 6 and Conor Bradley on the right, unless we move ourselves and get a player in quickly, guys. Let me know what you think in the chat. Let me know what you think in the chat. Matip and Joey G can go to Saudi. I can't let them men go play football in Saudi. We'll talk about the defence. Don't worry. We'll talk about the defence. Daryl, I don't think we're signing one. I think we will. I think we got a DM lined up, but it's how quick we get it through the door. Evening, my man. Hope you're doing well. Big up Jeff. Why I can't Klopp see that Adrian Gomez are massively useless. Just don't get it. Get rid, upgrade. If the forwards missed this year, it's going to be toxic for refugee real quick. Big up Jeff. Big up Doug as well. Hope you're doing well. Even the Saudis don't Gomez. Jamie, why is it a 10 a.m. kickoff on Sunday? The time difference, my man. The time difference is Asia, ain't it? I think it's like a 12-hour time difference, my friend. That is why, my friend. I think there's an 11 to 12-hour time difference. Big time difference. Big time difference. Yeah, big up Doug in the house. Big up Jeff as well. You're in. Big up to you. Jamie Roach in the house. How you doing, Jamie? Hope you're doing well as well, my friend. Us haggling the price of Lavia is at P take, considering Rice Casado and Trudell going for 100 million plus. Yeah, well, we know how we roll, man. We know how we roll. Big up Doug as well. Hope you're doing well, mate. How you doing? Joyce in the house as well. Hope you're doing well. Yeah. Sabozalai. Jamie, did you see what Carvalho said? Yeah, I'll get to that in a bit because I don't think it's anything much to worry about, in my opinion. Jamie, I have a question. Why do players leave Liverpool and they flop? I don't remember Aaron's playing better than Liverpool. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe we sell players at the right time. Maybe that's what it is. You know, they're not as good as they once was. Maybe that's what it is, my friend. But yeah, let's go through his team. So Conor Bradley again. Canate, Van Dijk, Robertson and Becker in goal. Alisson Becker in goal. Decent back four. Decent goalkeeper. Then we're starting in midfield with McAllister, Trent, and Gakpo. Quality all round. Doak, we're going to talk about Doak in a bit. Jota and Diaz. Perfectly first half team. As we said already, Trent can't play the lone six. He just can't, but he can play midfield if he plays next to a proper DM. McAllister was quiet today because I think he was trying to help Trent out. Gakpo again, no. Gakpo was on fire again. Gakpo is the link to this Liverpool side. He just really is. Gakpo is just quality, man. Let's get K-Mac in here and talk about Gakpo as well. Big up K-Mac. How you doing, man?
How you doing, mate? I was on after you on the other show.
Oh,
then.
Right.
It took a little bit longer.
No worries. I'm just talking about Gakpo today. Playing in midfield today. Now, I said about Gakpo about sometime late last season, that I wouldn't be surprised if Gakpo eventually in his career becomes a midfielder, because the way he plays is very like a midfielder. I think Didier Amann said it. Once that when he watches Gakpo plays, he looks like a midfielder, and Diddy knows. I mean, he's a midfielder himself at a high level. So I thought Gakpo today was really good. He's the link player in everything we do going forward. You know, there's a reason why we weren't defensively naive in the first half compared to what we were in the second half. One, Trent, I thought actually did okay. He can't play the lone six, but he can play midfield. And Gakpo holding up the ball. It's as simple as that. Someone putting their foot on the ball, having good body strength, can turn with their back to goal, can keep the game flowing, can keep the ball at the other end of the pitch, making it stick, making runs from midfield, keep him busy. That's the difference, ain't it, K-Mac? It's just that Gakpo is becoming a very vital part of this team now, isn't he?
He is. I mean, you look at the heat map on that game. He was like, where Bobby plays, where he kind of drops into midfield and kind of just sits around the centre, and obviously creates for other players. But this way round, we've got Jota ahead of him when Bobby didn't have anybody. He used to just play it left or right to Salah and Mane. But he's got Jota, and he's got a really good relationship with Jota. I just felt that sometimes both of them came too deep, and against the team that we played like today, the second half, you needed a striker that could run beyond and could just do that straight run, just knock it over them, straight run, because they weren't that great at the back, and a lot of obviously Nunez's goals just came from just a punt over the top and just chase the ball. You need to kind of work out what kind of play you're going to play. And I felt first off, we weren't clinical enough like that because there was too many people in the hole. Like Gakpo and Jota were too close to each other and dropped too far back, when Jota just needs to push forward a bit more. But yeah, Gakpo for me has really impressed me in pre-season. Same with McAllister as well.
Yeah, McAllister's going. I'm saying he's a little quieter today because that he was playing.
Normally means you're having a good game, by the way.
Yeah, he's playing deeper than he was the other day when he's getting more involved in attacks. But yeah, I thought McAllister was decent today. Trent was decent today. Few lovely passes by Trent today as well. Yet again. Now I said this earlier, came out before we come on. So Bradley played right back again today. Second game running now. Trent played in the six. We finished our German tour now. We're flying out of Singapore. We got our first game against Bayern Munich. It's on my birthday, by the way, on the 2nd of August.
Oh.
And
are you going out there?
No, I wish. And so we are what? I don't think there's going to be any incomings before we play Bayern Munich in a week's time. So how likely is that Bradley plays right back on the opening day of the Premier League season against Chelsea, and Trent's in that midfield? Because we haven't got any natural DMs in our top. You take Fabinho out, we ain't got a natural DM. And Stefan, it depends how many minutes he's going to get from now till we start the season again. And if there's a choice between the two, I think he's going to pick Trent over Stefan anyway. So are we looking at Trent being the 6 against Chelsea and Bradley playing at right back? Because I don't want Gomez playing right back. What I saw today, so that's a not. So
what I need to talk about here now is kind of the Bradley thing and also the Trent thing, because I've just been speaking on the last show. Like I don't understand. I can't get my head round the thought process of playing Trent as a lone DM like he would have Fabinho, basically doing the same job as Fabinho, yeah, and then playing Bradley as the inverted right back when Bradley is not an inverted right back. He can't do that role. Like he's basically asking him to do what Trent does. There's not many players in the world that can do what Trent does as an inverted right back. Like John Stones can do that. Kyle Walker can probably do that. There's only like Kimmich can probably do that. There's not a huge amount of players that can do that role. And you're asking some 20-year-old kid who played at Bolton, who played as a right back, by the way, not an inverted right back at Bolton, to do that role. He hasn't got a clue what he's doing. Like he really hasn't got a clue what he's doing. And Trent hasn't got a clue what he's doing because he's not a destroyer. Like he hasn't even got the physicality to be a destroyer like Fabinho. Like Trent should be played as an inverted right back if we are playing an inverted right back, and then just have 2 pivot midfielders. Like it doesn't make any sense. I'm watching it and it just looks a mess. I'm sorry, like if we're going against Chelsea or Bayern Munich with that formation, with those players, we're getting our asses handed to us. Sorry, like.
No, I actually do. I actually do agree with that. It's it don't make sense when your best inverted right back is not playing right in the inverted right back role. I agree.
Like just don't play it. Just play a right back. It's that simple. And then you can play Robinson as a left back because he doesn't know what he's doing on the left.
I think Klopp's just stuck went now that he just wants to play this way. I think midfield wise and attacking wise, this formation suits us better to get the best out of players. It's just the defensive side of it. Klopp's got to work out how to play this defensively, playing this way. Because midfield wise, I look at it and think, yeah, they got to be more creative in midfield playing this way because you can get more creative. You can get more creative players on the pitch. Salah looks fantastic. Darwin looks better for it. Gakpo, Jota, they all look better for it playing this way. And so I'm all right with that. And you say, like, Trent's not a destroyer. He's just sort of like he's one of them number 6s, like, you know, like Kimmich, like a Pilo. You know, they're not destroyers. They're game controllers. They're controllers of the ball. They control the tempo. They need space. Exactly.
He's got no space.
You get a destroyer next to Trent, and you can play Trent there every day of the week. There's no problem with that at all.
And he will cook.
Exactly. But you can't play him on his own. You just can't. You know, I will say I think like defensively we were better with Trent and Gakpo and McAllister in midfield today defensively because the second half it just shows the flaws in this system that we are trying to play. Now, I know it's pre-season and everyone say don't get carried away, and they told me that last season as well when I had concerns and we saw what happened. So I understand he wants to play this way. We just need an extra defender because I don't trust Gomez. Gomez and Matip are not it. Konate and Van Dijk are the 2 best defenders in our club by a complete mile. Like there's no fighting for their place. You know, Van Dijk and Konate just play. There's no one fighting to get into their spots, is there right now? Matip is not that player no more. Matip can still pass the ball through to the midfield and carry it forward. Fine. He does that still really well. He will never lose that. What Matip's lost is his ability to react to defending and his ability to react and his timing to react. And that seems to have gone in his game because of his age. He's getting older. He's had a lot of injuries. He's played a lot of football under Jurgen Klopp, the way we play. And that has gone out of his game right now. Joey Gomez playing right back today.
You know what? He looked like he looked like Napoli. It looked like Napoli today.
I'd
Did you
rather play
see?
Bradley. I'd rather play
He
Bradley
was
at right back.
so off the pace. Like
Yeah.
he was getting rinsed by some, I don't know, some pub team. Like honestly, like I'm not being disrespectful to those two teams that we played, but I'm sorry, but Bayern Munich put 20 goals past both of them any given day. Sorry.
No, I
What
agree.
what I do want to say though is we have got a massive issue in defence because
Oh, yeah.
if we haven't got Virgil van Dijk in defence, none of our other defenders are good enough on their own. None of them. None of them can play well together. Like Konate's a great player, but he can't play well with Gomez and he can't play well with Matip. Like it needs to have Virgil van Dijk in there. And if we're at a situation where next season we need to have a 31-year-old defender who's probably still recovering from that massive injury that he had that put him out for over a season and has played way too many games after that. We're still relying on him to be at 150% because he needs to be at 150% for the others to even tick. Like you just, it's a duty of care to get someone in to be able to stay with those players because, like for me, I don't want to sell Nat Phillips. Then just play Nat Phillips. Like honestly, like if you're not playing Konate or Virgil and you need another guy to come in, then keep Nat Phillips because Nat Phillips will give you a 7 out of 10. Like, he won't go running off because he knows he hasn't got the pace to get back. Like, he will do no nonsense stuff. Gomez is wandering all over the place. Like, Matip, like, honestly, I mean, he's got so many mistakes in him now. Like, I honestly think he's got like 1 in every 3 games. He makes a mistake. Like, whether they score or not, he still makes a mistake. Yeah. Like, the nickname Bambi is starting to really kick in. I'm really worried about the defence, and I'm really worried about the defensive midfield. Like, because the amount of times we get picked off from transition from defence to midfield is ridiculous.
It's transition because we can't play out.
And this is like pub teams.
It's because we can't play out from the back.
So don't do it. Don't do it.
We can't play it long. The back. Every goal we concede or get in trouble with, you go back to last season, you go to the pre-season this year, all the goals we concede is transition from playing out from the back. And we're not great at it. Now, Klopp has spoken before the season, this pre-season, saying about he wants to be the best team in possession and the best team on counter-attacking, which is cool. Go for it. I like that. If that's the way you want to play, I'm all with a manager having a system and the way he knows in his head how he wants your team to play straight away. I'm up for it. I really am. But at the same time, you've got to be able to adapt if it ain't working, right? You've got to be able to adapt if it ain't working. I think some of our players would look better if we adapted our tactics sometimes. If we didn't go, right, we're not going to play it from the back. We're not going to play the false right back role today. I just want Konate, just defend your space. Virgil, you just defend your space. Trent and Robbo, when you need to, tuck in. If you don't need to, make sure you're bombing forward, putting the press on, taking over your wingers. Yeah, do that. That's the job I want. Midfield, whoever's defensive midfielder, you're going to sit back further. The other 2 8s, one if you goes, one if you stays, you vice versa. You keep going, and you find a different way to play and make sure you're a bit more compact because this has happened for a while now. I said it was down to Jurgen that we went out against Real Madrid in the Champions League when we were 2-0 up and whipping their ass. Let's face it, Real Madrid were on the ropes for a bit. Real Madrid didn't know what happened to them. We were all over them, scoring goals, and then we started playing out the back.
5 counter-attack goals, mate.
Causing ourselves trouble through transition yet again. And that's my worry because we haven't got the players to play. Unless Virgil, Konate, Trent and Robbo are playing the back 4 with Alisson in goal. And you've got proper midfielders that can come and pick the ball off the defenders. Like McAllister's coming to pick the ball off the defender, or Boszalai's coming to pick the ball off the defender, or Curtis Jones coming to pick the ball off a defender. Thiago's coming to pick the ball off a defender. we are going to be stuck in that transitional area, and that's an issue. And you saw that in the second half came out where we didn't have the midfield on now, and we're playing out the back from Matip and Gomez and Simicas and Kwanzaa and Adrian. They're trying to play out from the back to a different midfield now that ain't able to pick the ball up off our centre backs, and it causes us massive issues. But we carried on playing it, and that's an issue for me. K-Mac, I see your thoughts.
Can I just ask you a question? Were we playing inverted left back as well in the second half and the first half? Because I honestly believe that we're playing inverted left back and right back. Because if you look at the heat map, Robbo's in the DM position pretty much the whole game, and so was Simicas.
Yeah, well,
are we doing that both?
Defending. We play one-on-one defending. That's how we've always played. We play one-on-one defending. That's the way we play. It's just, I don't think Klopp's ever going to change.
I mean, are we literally going? Is next season going to be like Kevin Keegan at Newcastle? Is that what it's going to be next season? We will score more goals than you.
Yeah, I mean, we have the firepower, but you can't be doing that.
Well, we've never not had the firepower. We've never had an issue with goals. And this is the thing about it, and this is what I've watched in pre-season, is we haven't got an issue with goals. Okay, we always score goals. We scored more goals last season than we did the season before, I think.
Yeah.
Like we've never had an issue with goals. I want to see us looking solider at the back and the transition between the defence and the midfield work. And all I see is nervous people. It reminds me a little bit of do you remember England had that issue where they tried to play possession football with their defenders? It feels like that. We're trying to play this possession football around the back, and then it comes out into the midfield. But we haven't got the players to make that happen. So then if they get the ball back off us, they're on our goal, like they're literally on the 16-yard area, like ready to have a shot. And that was what it was like over the last two games that we played. Like, this can't carry on. Like if you're watching this at a match, you need to be going into the training pitch afterwards, like the next couple of days, and going, right, guys, that wasn't right. Like, we need to do it this way. But it's still exactly the same. The players are playing the same way. We have the same positions that they're still in. Like, this is insanity, where you keep on playing the same way, expecting a different result. Like, this happened last year, and then it came to a point where everything got thrown out, and then Trent got chucked into this inverted right back. Like, is this going to change in pre-season? Because all I'm seeing is exactly the same thing.
Yeah,
and I don't see a double pivot.
I mean, this formation was meant to be the formation we're playing this season. It's that Klopp brought it in early, didn't he? But it's a worry. Big up, Javid. It's terrifying to think we have no defensive cover and no DM. It could be like the Brendan Rodgers season again. Score for fun and concede for fun. Yeah, big up, man. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Yeah,
that was exciting, by the way.
That's what came out was just saying. I mean, it's interesting. I think this is the way Klopp wants to play. Like, people keep telling me all the time, like, it's not Klopp's fault, it's the players. The players are not good enough. Well, we're getting new players now, and it's still the same. So, look, will this system work with his best 11? Probably. But then, as K-Mac saying, it's what you got underneath that comes in after. That's the issue right here. I think we're all quite happy with the best 11 Liverpool got. Do this system. You buy the new DM in. You play Trent right back inverted. You get the new DM in. You got Szoboszlai, you got Thiago, you got Elliott Jones and McAllister in that midfield quartet. Then you got this tremendous forward line. You got Virgil and Kanai at the back, Andrew Allison in goal. And you play that way, I think we're all pretty okay. That's fine. Yeah, but then as K-Mac said, it's the underneath. It's under the crust, ain't it? Where you find that there's a bit of garbage there, and it's not good enough.
look at the end of the day. Like I keep on bringing this point up about squad players that we can rely on. Like when we won the league and the European Cup, we had squad players we could rely on. We haven't got those players now. I'm sorry, we just have not. Like it's starting to feel like a Mignolet, a Skrtel, a Lovren, a Moreno, those type of players that they're going to let you down. Like you play them, they will let you down. You will lose a final. You will concede a goal with these players now. I mean, I can just rattle off a couple of players that are just backup players for the other teams. Like Man United have got Lindelof, they've got Dalot. That's a Swedish international and a Portuguese international that are backup that don't play every game. You know, you've got Arsenal that've got Tomiyasu and they've got Turney. That's a Scottish international and a Japanese international that can come off the bench and do bits for them. That's a left back. That's a left back and a centre back, and the centre back can also play right back. Like we got Gomez and Matip. That's it. And midfield, who've we got in midfield now? We're down to Stefan Bajcetic and Harvey Elliott as our backup midfielders. Like seriously, like we need some squad players as much as we need to replace some first team players. Like it really is a worry. Like we got these two players in, like in Sabolsai and McAllister, and they're fantastic players, but they've also got to transition into the team. Like we can't expect them to just go in and cook, like because that just doesn't happen all the time. Like look how long it took for Isaac to get into Newcastle's team. And Joelinton and Willock and these guys, like, you know, it took a bit of time for these players to transition into these teams.
Yeah.
You know, there's players that Arsenal bought last season that still really haven't transitioned in. Vieira, he's not really transitioned into their team yet. You know, they spent 50 million on him.
Yeah.
Like, don't expect results straight away. Yeah, but we haven't got the first team to rely on now.
It's
worrying, mate.
It's mad because I said it in the summer. I've said it this summer. I wanted Liverpool to get rid of all the old midfielders and get the new midfielders in if you want a proper rebuild. Yeah,
I wanted to keep.
But I meant that doing it in 12 months, like summer, January to summer. So it's a nice slow build. I didn't mean do it in 6 weeks. You know, the football gods were listening. I went out, Jamie, we were just doing 6 weeks, and I was like, yes. I don't think Henderson's good enough for Liverpool Football Club. Yes, I don't think Fabinho maybe. I'm not sure, but Henderson definitely needed to leave. We know Oxenmilner needed to leave. Bobby, did he need to leave? I'm not sure, but
no,
probably.
No.
But, you know, and then we're getting players in now. We got, look, the two players we bought in, McAllister and Bosley, are far better than all the players that are left. Right, there's no doubt about 100%. That. You're upgrading 100%. On their talent in them two players. But we need to get another two in, and we need a centre back. The problem is now, I think that I honestly think what Liverpool will go do, they will go get McAllister and Szoboszlai in. I don't think Liverpool were ever really looking for a number 6. I know he was always like, oh, the Lavia and Kone talks and all that earlier in the summer. But if we were really after a number 6, we would have got one in after McAllister. You know, we went and got Szoboszlai. It was a great buy, by the way, and I'm glad we did. But the Fabinho transfer has caught Liverpool so cold, they now have to go and look for a DM. The problem is we should have been reactionary and got a DM last summer. Now, we were trying to get Tchouaméni. He chose Real Madrid. Fair enough. But we shouldn't have just gone and right, we'll just get Bellingham next then. He's the next on the list. And then wait 12 months and waste everyone's time. You should just go and buy a DM. You know, go and look for DMs. You got Agate last summer. You got all these DMs around. And now you got Declan Rice. You got all these DMs around that are moved now. They're all at their clubs. The experienced and quality defensive midfielders are probably not going to leave their clubs now this late into the transfer window unless you pay a massive premium on their transfer, right, to get them out of their clubs. That Liverpool are not going to do. So they look for value for money in the transfer market. So this is Liverpool are stuck. And they're going to have to buy potential. They just have to. Unless they are go and blow everyone away and get a very experienced defensive midfielder that's going to go like, and everyone, whoa, I didn't expect that to happen. Or they're going to have to spend money on a player who is a defensive midfielder, and that's their job. K-Mac. So I think this is the important thing. Liverpool can't go and get a number 6 who's not that Fabinho kind of number 6. Because forget about replacing Fabinho of last season. That's easy to do. You and me could do it. But we want to replace Fabinho. That was the Fabinho that's joined Liverpool Football Club for his career. That's what Jurgen Klopp wants. If Jurgen Klopp wants to play a possession game with good counter pressing, you want a defensive midfielder who can destroy and pass, like Fabinho used to. Fabinho was an excellent passer of the ball. I don't think he gets credit for that. And he was a destroyer at his best. That's what we need. And what Neil Jones, I think, was saying today is that that's what Liverpool are looking at. They're looking at a specialist DM, which means we're going to have to pay over the odds for a footballer, don't it, K-Mac? Because
absolutely,
if we want them right now, if it's Decore from Palace and they want him, then it is, you just have to pay the 70 million, ain't you?
You are. So someone just put a really good comment in there. Gary Richards. He spells it wrong, but it's poor planning. And he's absolutely spot on. Look,
poor planning.
The issue we've got is stubbornness. It always has been, always will be. He's already planned what he was going to do at the end of the year. Klopp had. He already planned. Like at the end of the season, he was like, right, what I'm going to do is these players are going to leave on free transfers, and I'm going to sign 2 midfielders, and I'm going to keep the centre backs until next year, and then I'm going to refresh the centre backs. That was the plan. That was always the plan. It was so obvious that was going to happen, because as soon as the season ended, we signed 2 players really quickly. One we got before the season started, before the transfer window started, sorry, and the other one was completely out of the blue because there was a release clause that was about to expire. So that had to happen. So those 2 players had to happen, and that was what was going to happen. Now, the issue we've got now is, do we carry on with this formation because we haven't got the squad to make it work? Because we need a centre-back to play in Robinson's position, because he can't play that position. He's just not good enough. And we look really, really shaky at the back because we've got 2 defenders at the back and not 3. So do we get another centre-back because we need one? That's the next question. The other one is 2 midfielders left that weren't supposed to leave. Henderson and Fabinho weren't supposed to leave. Like, they were probably up for sale, like as in we'll listen to offers, but I don't think they ever thought they were going to get 40 million and 12 million. Or I know 12 million is not a lot, but they only paid 16 for Henderson. So I don't think they expected for those both to want to go as well. And that's the biggest problem. They both wanted to leave. Whether we wanted them to stay or not is irrelevant. They both wanted to leave the club. Okay. So are we willing to get our hands in our pockets and spend money on midfielders? No, we won't. We're not going to do it. I just don't see us doing it. I don't see us linked with anybody, like as in really linked with them, like that have popped up before. And what I see is a loan, and I see another stopgap that's going to fail. And I don't know who it's going to be. Maybe it's another. Maybe we get Weston McKennie this year from Juventus, or Rabiot, or someone like that. I don't know. But I see it being another loan, and I don't see us paying the money which we need to pay. Let's make no bones about it. We need to spend big to replace Fabinho. It needs to be 60 million plus. To replace him.
It does. I don't think
there's no one out there that can do that job.
Yeah, Klopp hates loans, don't he? Klopp hates loans. So I don't think we're going to loan anyone. I literally do think we'll buy somebody, but we're going to have to pay over the value market for somebody, and it's just going to be the way it is. And that'll be the player coming in. You are right, though. We need a defender.
Back are probably still. I'm joking.
We need a defender, and you're damn right about that. But the problem is, Klopp will look at it and go, we've got Gomez, Matip, Van Dijk, and Konate. Only 2 play. Only need 4 centre backs. You ain't going to buy one. Unless
I mean,
one of them
Quants is
leaves,
ahead of them for me after this pre-season, mate.
unless one of them, if less than one of them leave, and Klopp decides that one of them can go, we ain't bringing a defender in. It's just fact. We all know that. We know we're not bringing a defender in unless one of them go, because I'm looking at Bradley now and I'm thinking, if you don't play Bradley inverted and just play him as a right back, I'd rather have Bradley than Gomez right now at right back.
I mean, give Bradley a chance. Like, let him play pre-season like he's played before. Like, if he's never played inverted before, he probably hasn't got a clue. And let's be honest, haven't you got to be like a midfield type player to play inverted anyway? Like, he's a right back. Like, I can't get my head around it. I watched it and I was like, are you asking a guy to play like Trent does when you've got Trent there?
It didn't make sense.
Made no sense.
I agree. It didn't make sense. Big up, Jamie.
And it looked disjointed.
It did. If we weren't getting money for Hendo and Fab, we would sign another player deadly serious. I've said this already. If Liverpool never lost Fabinho and Henderson this summer, I think McAllister and Szoboszlai would have the only two midfielders coming in, but I think we would have bought a centre-back or a right-back. Something defensively minded, I think we would have gone and bought, but not another midfielder. I think that was the plan. As I said, before Fabinho and Henderson left, I don't think we was after a number 6 like that. Maybe a young number 6 who can come in and maybe, you know.
Oh yeah. I feel that could have been an option.
Yeah, but
now then again, you've got Stefan Bajcetic. That whole Lavia thing. I'm like, didn't Stefan Bajcetic had a really good? Didn't he play really well
said
for
this
us
already? Like,
you're literally just digging him off, like to get Lavia in. Like,
I said that a few weeks
make
ago.
him think?
If you bring Lavia in, he's the same age as Stefan that's been playing DM for us anyway. Unless you're going proper young, unless Liverpool just want to knock the age of this team right down and do what they did when Klopp first came to Liverpool, get rid of all the older players, get the younger players in, keep them as a bunch of 5 to 6 years, and then go again. Unless that's the plan. So they get Bajcetic, they got them there, get Lavia in, got Karlsruher, Szoboszlai, get all these younger guys in, Gakpo's, Diaz.
We're never going to spend 50 million on a 19-year-old. Just never in a million years, mate.
I think we might get Lavia, but we ain't going to pay the 50 million. There's no doubt about that.
He ain't going then.
Big up, Sean. How long are you giving it before we get a new signing, before we have a proper meltdown? I think Henderson went to AXA today to say his goodbyes, didn't he? He went back today and said goodbyes to everyone at AXA. I don't know but
I'm quite sad about that. Like, he should have.
Yeah, he's gone out the back door, sort of thing, ain't he? And
I don't like that.
Fabinho, you know, that thing about Fabinho's dogs is not really an issue, is it? So he's going as well, and it's all going to be done and dusted.
They didn't sign his dogs, mate.
No, exactly. I mean,
going.
He's going no matter what.
Sort your own personal life out.
The dog thing don't matter. So they're going. They passed their medicals apparently, and they're going to meet up with their new teams. So once they're officially out of the door and no longer Liverpool players, I think you'll start to see some things happening. Liverpool have to buy DM. There's no doubt about it. Liverpool need a defensive midfielder. You can use Stefan as backup. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with Stefan as backup because he's a talent. And you got Thiago's and your Trents there as well, can sit into them positions, McAllister's, who can all sit into that double pivot position and help out as well. So, but you need an experience. We need an experienced DM for me, or a DM, or not even an experienced DM, because I think all the experienced DMs now that we would probably want have either just gone to clubs or cost too much to buy. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. So they're going to have to buy a potential. It could be someone we're not even linked to. That we go and buy. Might be a Premier League. It won't shock me if it is a Premier League based player, though. wouldn't shock me like
Think
it's
about
Decore or
think about
something
it
like
though.
that.
Is there's a lot of players looking for DMs.
Yeah, and Polina
Sorry, a lot of
just
clubs looking for
separated his
DMs.
shoulder, and so he's off the market now.
Like, if we're linked with anyone decent, you can guarantee that Chelsea and Tottenham and Arsenal are all sniffing around there as well.
Yeah, of course so.
Like, I've got to go in a couple of minutes, mate. Sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. We'll go finish in a minute anyway.
All right, cool.
Yeah, Sean, I think if we've not got anything lined up by the time we play Bayern Munich on the 2nd of August, that's another week away. That's a week Wednesday, I believe. Liverpool have got to have something lined up surely by the 2nd of August, because we're talking about 2 weeks till the season starts. So for me, that has to be, that. What about you, K-Mac? By then, we should be hearing something by that Munich game.
I mean, for me, there's two. You've got two choices really for me, and Klopp has to look at this. Like, if he's not looking at this, or his coaches aren't looking at this, then I have no idea what he's doing. He needs to change the formation so we're playing 3 at the back, and we're not playing Robinson, and we're playing a centre back. Whether it's Gomez, whether it's Matip, whether it's Quansah, I don't care. But it needs to be a centre back, and it doesn't need to be Tsimikas because he hasn't got a clue how to do it, and Robinson's too far forward. So that needs to happen, or we're going to get tonked by Leicester and Bayern Munich at the start of the season. Or you get a DM. You get a good DM who's going to cover that space, because we're just getting rinsed in that transition period. And what it looks like it's happening is when all the teams used to play it down the right, they're now playing it down the left. You can do it down the right and the left now, because we've now got players that aren't in position on the left and the right. It's crazy,
right, man.
Look,
you are right. Look, it's a mad one, guys. It is a
Gary,
mad
it's
one.
not even 3-4-3 at the moment. It's 2-4. It's 2-4-4.
It's all attacking. Nuts. Look, before we finish up here, let's talk about some positives. Darwin Nunez took his 2 goals beautifully today. His second goal, and he's running.
Him and Salah are starting to excite me.
Salah and Darwin have got Salah and Darwin are like that, and Jota and Gakpo are like that. Them 4 players have got great chemistry with each other. It's like it just comes naturally. Salah and Darwin and Jota and Gakpo seem to have the best chemistry. There's one odd one out there. I won't say who. He scored today, though. Diaz scored today. He looked good. He did what I wanted. Didn't wait around too long. Got the ball out of his feet, cut inside, took the shot. That's what I want.
I like Diaz coming from deeper. If you watch him come from deeper, he's capable of having those shots and
he's more deadly. But he needs the less he touches the ball, the better he is as well.
Absolutely,
because he's more efficient that way. Sometimes he overthinks things and complicates things when it don't need to be complicated. But Diaz was good today. Darwin was excellent because we played to Darwin's strengths. If you're playing link-up play football at the front, then Darwin's not your man. That's when he's going to look suspect. Just let Darwin do what he does. He looked great. Salah looked fantastic. He's the most complete forward now around Europe, no doubt about that.
We missed that header, though.
Yeah. It was a good save, though. I want to get both on that.
The goalie pulled off a worldie.
I think that was a good save as well. I've got to give the keeper some credit.
I wouldn't be surprised, mate, if Klopp actually scouts that keeper.
Yeah,
you know what he's like.
Keeper was decent.
He played a great sweeper, didn't he? You see him second half.
And he had to. They were so high up.
Yeah, no, he had to.
Cody Gakpo again was excellent.
Yeah, excellent.
Cody Gakpo, you can play in left wing, number 9, number 8, and he plays exactly the same way. He's the link to everything Liverpool do. I don't know how you drop him. I really don't. I don't know how you drop Gakpo out the first 11 now. He can play. He's the link to everything.
Even if he's not up front, he's still a shout for the midfield.
He is.
He really is.
He did. Look, did he look out of place today in midfield?
No.
He plays like a midfielder. I've always said it. In midfield, he reminds me of Yaya Toure in a way.
He's great.
Before anyone goes mad, I'm not comparing him. I'm saying he reminds me of him. You know how tall he is, how long he is with his strides, how strong he is in midfield, keeping the ball. Gakpo, So, guys, that's it now, guys. We're going out of here, but we'll be back to. I won't be back tomorrow. I'm out tomorrow. I'll be back by Wednesday. I should be back, guys. Yeah, we'll talk more about pre-season and stuff like that. Any transfer rumours, so make sure you got your notification bells on. Yeah, it was decent Germany tour. That's done. Let's go to Singapore now. Play some harder games, which I think Liverpool need to play. Bring up the level a little bit and see how we go. Hopefully we get some transfer news.
I'm hoping that formation was just like testing it out there.
Yeah.
And he's gone, nah, it doesn't work. I'm going to go to 3. Like, I really hope.
Yeah, that's I'm looking forward to it. I ain't gonna lie.
Because we can't expect that again. Like,
I'm excited for pre-season. I'm excited for the season to start in. There is a lot of excitement in the air, I will admit. I'm looking forward to it. But guys, me and K-Mac are out of here. Don't forget to go and subscribe to K-Mac's channel.
I'm going over to Big Six Bants now. If you want to jump over, guys.
There you go, Big Six Bants. Go over there, guys. Big up to everyone. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.